Welcome back, everybody. This is kind of an in-between video of this turbo swap series, as I am getting my car more geared towards a nice little fun street car, track car. I'm still not quite sure all it is that I want to do with the car, but what I do know, I want to be able to take some turns, and not just from, smaller turbo, a few other mods and suspension. One of the easiest ways to be able to do that is to send your ACD, if you have an ACD T-case in your Evo 8 or 9, off to companies like TS Comptuned or English Racing. The idea is to essentially upgrade the ECU or reflash it. Now, the reflashing does a couple of things. I'll get more into it, how you will be able to use it, and be able to tell you what exactly happens with the different settings, because now you're gonna have some different settings. Jover, a local Evo guy here in the Panhandle, lent me his spare ACD ECU so I could do this swap. So I really appreciate it, Jover. Really appreciate you. I want to show you guys how this swap's gonna go. It's pretty simple. I thought it was gonna be a rough one. It's really not. First thing you want to do is get your ACD ECU. Now, where is your ACD ECU? It is behind your glove box on the passenger side, and it's mounted like this inside the wall. I'll show you its exact location right now. So where those two yellow plugs are, that is where your ACD ECU is going to mount. I was able to remove my glove box. I removed this little insert panel right here, and then there's a little kick panel right here. And they just pull out. I think there was a couple of push pins or something. My Evo didn't have one, or any, in the kick panel. So you might have some. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that one just stayed in. So there you go. Easy peasy, right? So it's gonna be this place, and then a 10mm bolt, this guy right here, that goes into the firewall, or not the firewall, but goes into the, I don't want to call it the firewall, but the chassis. And it has two grounds from the ECUs. So that's where your ECUs are grounded. The easiest way to get that off is to remove the connectors going into the ACD ECU. So the guys that plug into this part of the ECU, and they're just a simple push to disconnect. Pull those guys out, set them off to the side, because you don't want the metal bracket tearing into any of the wires. And then you got this weird little like insert piece up there. If you can kind of see it, it looks like it's brown. The ACD ECU just pushes in right there with these guys right there. So it just goes in like that. And then the bolt goes through there along with the two ECU grounds. Once everything's back in, you can put everything back together. So I'm just gonna put this together real fast. I was able to get in there with a 1/4-inch ratchet with a short 10mm, and I was able to get it loose enough to be able to do it by hand. I thought I was gonna have to move a bunch of stuff, but there's plenty of room once you get your hand over here. As an example, or just to show you guys, I went in through just behind this little white area, or this little white piece. Just went underneath here, and I was able to get up in there. You shouldn't have too hard of a time. The hardest part is honestly just getting the connectors off the ACD ECU without breaking anything. And again, move everything off to the side when you pull it down. I cannot stress that enough, to push those off to the side somewhere to be able to pull that ACD ECU out. Otherwise you will damage some of the wires. And I don't like chasing electrical gremlins. I don't think anybody here watching this video enjoys chasing electrical gremlins, so be cautious. After doing this in a garage during a thunderstorm, and it's like 96 degrees and humid as all hell, listening to myself breathe, after making a bunch of old fat man noises, the ACD ECU is back in there. Make sure when reattaching it, the way that I would do it is put it inside the posts first, do the 10mm bolt with the two ECU grounds, and then go ahead and do the connectors, but I would do the back one first and then the front, because you're not gonna have a whole lot of room. And then you just install everything and you should be good to go. Hey, look at that. full interior. Now that the battery is back on in the car, I'm gonna play with the ACD settings to show you what is going on. So tarmac has been messed with, gravel and snow, and then there are 3 new options that you have. You have super tarmac, essentially, super gravel, and then super snow. I'm just dubbing it super just to be able to show you guys exactly what it is. Tarmac's gonna be, you know, normal, essentially. You're gonna drive on that, but then when you're driving and you wanna be able to take some turns, you will now be able to turn that much faster and that much easier within this setting. So that's upgraded tarmac, upgraded gravel, and upgraded snow. That's regular tarmac. Let's go for a drive. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. It feels like it's 104 because it's humid here in Florida. So let's go for a drive. I'm gonna do my best to be able to do this with one hand. So in regular tarmac mode, kind of seems like there's a little bit of slop. However, when you go into super tarmac mode, the steering response is that much faster. Overall, I would say it's a better move. Super responsive comparatively to, I feel like I'm waiting for it. My steering wheel's turning, but it's not turning quite yet. So the response has increased quite a bit, and noticeably enough to make this ACD ECU upgrade very much worth it if you have an ACD Evo 8.9 T case. So, my opinion, a quick little ACD swap to have a better turn response on these cars is a must, especially if you want to take some turns. Majority of Evo owners look for the non-ACD T cases because they are known to just be able to take abuse, and the ACD T case is pretty pointless if you're wanting to go fast straight, but if you want to go fast and be able to turn, an ACD T case is a must in your Evo 8 or 9. The ECU Reflash is something that has to go along with it. The steering response in this thing is amazing. It's nuts. It's completely changed the turning capability of the car. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to take U-turns that much easier, but taking turns, back roads, are that much better. I think it was worth it. In my opinion, it was worth it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I want to get back to figuring out some tuning issues that I'm running into. I don't want to release part 2 until I figure out these tuning issues, and then go from there. So until next time, dream or do, it's up to you. Until next time.